So I want you to know that my name is Richard Seaman, and what I want you to know about me is that I'm a man of power. I'm also an amazing manifester. And I don't speak that from a place of ego. I speak that as a place of absolute knowing within me that I am a child of God and that you are a child of God, which means that we all have this divine right to be here in this world, in this body, right here and right now. What's important is that this is your truth and that you are deserving of abundance just because you exist. So many of us, I think that we are an extra. And the truth is there are no extra human beings, that we're all extraordinary beings. And most of us, many of us, have either experienced feeling extra, or we know people that have felt like they're extra. And I want you to think about people that you've walked by or been in connection with that maybe feel extra. Maybe the people that serve you at a diner or a restaurant, or those people that you give your cash to at a grocery store, or possibly to get gas, and maybe at McDonald's drive-thru. And they may feel extra. And my invitation to you is to take a moment and acknowledge them by name. Because when you acknowledge them by name, there is literally, scientifically, what we call the RAS, which stands for the reticular activating system in your brain, that when you use someone's name, you literally activate that part of their brain and they pay attention. So that's how we are able to help people to become feeling like they're no more of an extra. So the first order of business today is to rewire your brain deep within every nerve fiber in your body that you are deserving and to live an abundant life full of love and joy and power and purpose and being fulfilled. Do you want that? Me too. So it is your right, it is your birthright to claim that and to live it. So there's this idea, and this is one of the quotes from Oprah Winfrey, which I absolutely adore her. I adore her work in the world and who she stands to be in the world. Her example of what's possible for all of us. Not her wealth, but just who she be as a human. And one of the things that she says, and the quote is, I'm going to paraphrase it, is that when you get that sperm hit that particular egg in that particular moment and you were born, should blow you away. That there is a billion of those moving up and through, and it picked you. You survived that moment to exist. And that, to me, blows me away. So the universe is a doing machine, and it only knows to do what you tell it to do. So I want to ask you, are you willing to claim a miracle today? And what a miracle is a shift in perception, a radical shift in perception from fear to love. So today, I want to help you to claim a miracle by telling the universe that I'm willing to claim a miracle in my life today and have a radical shift in perception. So when I leave here, who I be and how I manifest my life is going to be a shift in perception. Can we claim that? Yes. Let's hear it again. Yes. So let's take baby steps, because I can just barrel through this because I'm that man of power, but it doesn't mean that you're not. I'm just the possibility of what's possible for you. And I want to help you to make a connection with your God of understanding. And we're going to do it slowly externally first. And that externalness is asking yourself, if you're willing, to close your eyes and just take that deep breath within yourself. So big breaths. And without words, I want you to say within yourself 3 times, I am a powerful person. 3 times. Now feel that. Just sit with that. I am a powerful person. And breathe into those internal words. I am a powerful person. Let's go further. And I'm going to ask you to open your eyes up now and look at me, look around the room, get a bearing of where you're at right now. And I want you to repeat these words out loud externally. And these words are, go with me, I am a powerful person. Again. Good. Again. Now breathe into those external words. Big life force breath. And feel yourself come alive. One more time. Feel that. I'm a powerful person. One more time. Where did those words land within your body? Point to it right now. Where'd you feel it? Did anyone feel tingles or something move into you or move from you? I know for me, I get what I call God bumps that move through my arms, which is truth. So let's go further and activate the universal doing machine and speak those words out now. I'm a powerful manifester. One more time. I'm a powerful manifester. Ah, did that feel good? And so it is. So these principles that I'm going to support you in and teach you today are things I've been teaching at Seattle Life Coach Training for the last 10 years. And I don't know about you, but I am utilized for the greater higher good. I am God's employer, which is my second book, or Spiritual Reliability. And for me, when I'm writing books or creating curriculum, I call it a download. Anyone get a spiritual download? Like you just hear stuff, okay? And I'm reliable, so what happens to me is I'll get these downloads. It could be anywhere. It could be in the shower, which is a big one for me. It could be when I'm sleeping, when I wake up. I can be woken up at 4 a.m., right? Anyone relate to this? And all of a sudden, I began getting these downloads of information, and this is where it comes from. So I am only utilized as God's employer as a conduit. And my job is to speak it out to those that want to hear it and utilize it as you choose to. So these are the 10 principles of manifestation. So first of all, your thoughts and words are containers that hold your future. Now sit in that. And therefore, you should be very selective in what you say. Sit in that. Now let's go further. Think about this visually. That your thoughts and your words have legs and they go out and find themselves and then bring them back to you as your reality. That's a visual. They're looking for, what did you say? Okay, well, if the universe is a doing machine, I'm going to go find what you just said. I'm going to go find that and bring it back to you. You just manifested your reality. And the thing about this is that people say, well, I didn't say it, right? Well, I didn't say it. However, you thought it. People say, I didn't say it, but if you think it, it's just as powerful. The universe can hear us through these words and what we're thinking also. So it's watch your words and watch your internal dialogue. So when you say one positive thing and then follow up with a negative, you cancel all good and you got to start over because what's left floating out there is the last thing you said or did. Now sit in that. This is a big one. So we're going to do this next week when I coach somebody. And so we talk about this as, or I talk about this as all of a sudden we have this great idea and we're going to be positive for the day and we're going to manifest something and we're going to be really creative and we're going to get what we're going to get because today is a good day. Anyone been there? Like, I'm going to get this, I'm going to make this happen. And you have this great day and then something happens and then you follow up with a negative. Well, what's left out there is the last thing you said, and now it goes out and finds itself and brings it right back to your reality. So you canceled the whole day because now you got to start over. So the best thing you can do is you say, whoopsie, I said it, I thought it. You need to reframe it immediately because, again, we don't want to call that in. So your internal dialogue is just as powerful as your external dialogue, and we can expand our life with our words and thoughts as well as we can tear it down just as fast. So the metaphor, if you look at the photo, is that you can build a fence and tear it down just as quickly. I'm a farm boy. I grew up way out in the valley, and we would build these fences. So imagine you're building fence, and then someone's behind you kicking it down. It's kind of non-productive. Well, that's the same thing with our life. We're able to tear it down as fast as we're able to speak it. Blow our life up with our words internally and externally. This is a good one. God can dream a bigger dream than you can dream for yourself. Think bigger than your human mind. We at times can be pessimistic about our life. Life's hard. It is for you. There's no one out there for me in a relationship. That's your reality. Sit in your internal dialogue, your external dialogue, and understand that you're literally thinking small. You're literally not blowing your life up with what's possible. So our human mind generally thinks little. I want you to invite you to get bigger into the universal mind, God's mind, and be the biggest thinker of all. Connect to that one mind. So if we look at whatever your God of understanding is, which I call Gus, God, Universe, Spirit, that mind, that one mind, that omnipresent mind, that thing, whatever you want to call it, capital I-T, created you, I, the world, everything, all its deliciousness of the world, and you're part of that. It's huge. It's mind-blowing. Have you ever stood at the beach and looked out? You feel so tiny, but you're part of that. And so we need to think bigger. And remember, you have permission to always think and speak bigger and to vision your mind as big as possible. So as a coach, as the founder of Seattle Life Coach Training, when I'm teaching my students, I'm like, can you think bigger? Because I'll say to them, what do you want to manifest? A new car. Great. What about something bigger? Could you manifest something even bigger than that? Because most of us can get a car. In these days, we can go ahead and finance a car. It may not be in your greater hood, higher good. It may not be in your budget, but you can do it. So what's even bigger than that? What if I told you that you could be big in the world? You could be a global thinker. You could be someone that writes a book. You could be out there speaking to many, many, many people because you're saying yes to the possibility of that, and the universe only needs your buy-in, which I'll go further with. So as we're doing this is my favorite thing in the whole world, is we need to learn how to dance in the mystery. Sit in that. Dancing in the mystery. Because this whole thing called life is a mystery. All of us are dancing in a mystery. We don't know how it's going to go. We don't know where it's going to go. We have an idea, we think, and then it sort of is this beautiful mystery when we sit in it. So become okay with not always knowing. How many have to sit in that and work on that one? You want to know, I want to know, I want to know, I want to know, but you don't know completely. Especially if you allow the spirit of your God of understanding to take a hold of your life. So this is what I say, stay loose to produce. When you get too specific, you close doors of possibility. So for me, what I always think about is that we are in this place of we want to manifest something specific. But you know what you're doing? You're limiting the universe expression within you, because what if there's something bigger? What if you say to your higher power, I am willing to manifest what is ever for my greater and higher good? It changes the game, because you're not in charge, and you're not in charge. Yes, right? You can do this and you can try to manifest the things that you want, and you probably will do it, but is it for your greater and higher good? That for me changes the game, because I'm getting out of its way. I want this, but I don't want it if it's not for my greater and higher good. So I'm going to dance in the mystery of what's possible. So we need to get clear and leave wiggle room for more and bigger. More and bigger. And it's possible. I live it every day. Not from ego, from doing my hard work and connecting to the universal laws of attraction and the principles of that. So this is a great one. So there are two types of timing, your timing and divine timing. And I guarantee you that what's going to manifest easier with grace and ease is going to be divine timing. So you can always push things into existence. Biblically, it says God cannot take away your free will. And it's true. If you choose that pathway in your life, that's your pathway. It's okay. No judgment. But biblically, it says, I can't take away your free will. So whatever you choose is your pathway to your life. My suggestion is to choose wisely. So how many of you have manifested things, experiences, life, that were not for your greater and higher good? And you didn't realize it until you realized it. So raise your hand if you've manifested things that weren't for your greater, higher, and good. Well, what happens is that once you realize it, you have a huge mess to clean up. Think about your messes. Think about the messes of your life. And the thing about our messes is, if they were a mess that you cleaned up, was it something that maybe wasn't for your greater and higher good? Because if you call that thing that was the wrong path, but it got you to where you are today, then was it a wrong path? I don't know. But what I do know is that when you align yourself with more ease and grace and understand that the universe has a bigger, wider perspective than you do, and you follow divine timing, divine order in all things, you move through your life with ease and grace. But there are those things that we need to learn, and I'm okay with that. It's not always fun, but it is. Sit in this. An anxious mind will block, detour, and delay things from manifesting. So God cannot use an anxious mind. Sit in that. God cannot use an anxious mind. That's why prayer and meditation and grounding yourself and knowing ways to bring yourself down, having that anxiety, that worry, that wonder, that stress, all those things that we tend to be in as human beings, versus giving it up and saying, thy will be done through you, through me, and I have no control of this. And there's no anxiety is going to help you. No worry, wonder, fear is going to help you reach your highest self. Why cannot God use your anxious mind? Is because if you are to vibe higher, the closer you are to higher vibration, which I refer to as the angels. And what angels are mediaries between you and your higher power. And those angels are always hovering right above your head. And they're here to be of service to you when you ask them. Again, they can't take away your free will. So when you get that there are these amazing angels, call it whatever you want, ready to go to work for you, and you utilize it, and then you calm down, but the more you're stressed out and the more of your anxiety that's there, those angels can't get close to you because they don't live there. They're at the highest possible vibration that they can possibly be. So you rise your vibe through whatever that may be, your behaviors, and you let go of those behaviors that aren't serving you, and you figure out ways to rise your vibration, which one of those might be coming here. I know for myself, I spend a ton of time in nature. I go out and I dry camp all the time. I did 9,000 miles this summer with my camper hauled behind me. I just stopped wherever I felt and hung out in nature, walked streams, swam, did ever what I want, and my vibration rose, and that's how I do it. Meditation, being in my gardening, being with the animals, volunteering at the sanctuary for animals. Whatever it is that rises your vibration, you need to do your work. And that's going to be the way that you'll be utilized by your higher power. Let go of limiting expectations and attachment to limiting outcomes. So I say this, yeah, but because we have a story. I can't because, yeah, but I'm not that smart. Yeah, but I'm lacking finances. Yeah, but my dad was abusive. Yeah, but my last relationship wasn't so great. Yeah, but I'm going through transition. Your yeah buts are going to cost you your life. Versus reframing it and saying, I can versus I can't. Things like I will, I do, I declare. So when we're manifesting, I don't barter with the universe. I claim, I do, I invoke, and I declare my truth. And, I'm not going to say but, and we be aware of our languaging internally and externally, and the moment that we say a negative, remember, you say one positive thing, you follow up with a negative, you cancel all good. The moment you hear or you speak or you think something negative, you immediately reframe it, and that's how we begin to manifest. So in my coaching program, we talk about get rid of the ants. And ants is a metaphor for, an acronym for automatic negative thoughts. ANTS. ANTS. So when you hear the ants rolling through your head, we need to reframe them as quick as they come out of your mouth. And the faster you do that, the quicker you're going to manifest the things that you want. So I say this, don't use your energy to worry. Instead, use your energy to believe, create, grow, glow, manifest, and heal yourself. Let's try that again. So don't use your energy to worry. Use your energy to believe, create, trust, glow, flow, and manifest and heal. Wouldn't that be more productive? Yeah. So be clear with your visions, your words, your thoughts. Say yes and let God work out the details, the whens, the wheres, and the hows. This is where we bog down the universal doing machine. We bog it down because we go into worry. We go into, well, when will it happen? Where will it happen? How will it happen? That's anxious. That's anxiety. That's not opening yourself up to divine timing, divine order. That's not trusting in what's possible because you're bogging it down. You're in fear. When will I do it? How will I do it? Where will I do it? You're trying to do all these details versus, yes, I say yes. And so I say is that it's never a straight shot to the goal. It isn't. Right? I call it a knothole moment. So a knothole moment is where we have a goal, and this process, if you look at this picture, is about trusting the process, but it's about you go through like a knothole. So you move, and it's going to be windy and bendy, and it's going to get narrow and restricted. It's going to get dark, but you keep going, and eventually you pop out the other side, boom, into a beautiful space of possibility. And I know you know what I'm talking about. But we got to keep going. We got to trust. So when you're manifesting, it's not your job to worry about those things. Let the universe do its job. Let it handle all the details and get out of its way. That is how we manifest. The universe says something like this: hey, trust me, I know what I'm doing. If it had a voice, I hear that all the time. Hey, trust me, I know what I'm doing. So you must say yes to activate the universal doing machine. So I want you to think about right now that whatever it is that you want to manifest, and I want you to think bigger than your human mind. Do you have a global, high-level intention for your life? That something you want to be as big as possible, that's going to shift the universe, that's going to put a dent in people's consciousness, that's going to stay in an impact that'll be, when people touch you, feel you, hear you, experience you, that it puts a dent in their consciousness that will never leave. What if you could just think about that? I sit in that and I ask you to think, what is the biggest possibility for your life? Maybe it is about buying a house. That's great. Maybe it is about being a global thinker or an author of a book. Maybe you want to move to Hawaii. Maybe you want to move across the country. Maybe you just want to be simple and have no stress and worry, and maybe find a beautiful partner for the rest of your life. Whatever that is, I would ask you that it's for your greater and higher good. So what I always say, this has always saved my life as a business owner, doing this for 15 years, hold the vision, trust the process. Hold the vision, trust the process. I have a vision in mind of what I want to manifest. I know what my life wants to look like. My higher self is telling me this, and it's a journey. It's never a straight shot. So we're going to trust that process. Here's what I love. You plan and God laughs. He laughs. It laughs. The universe laughs. So faith is learning to walk in the fog. And you know what? Every day we're walking in the fog. The last part that I talk about in spiritual liability, which is what this concept is about, and I ask in my book, if God were an employer, would you be hired? Are you spiritually reliable? And that isn't required, because if an employer was to hire you and you were unreliable, you'd be fired rather quickly. Well, God is no different than that. Are you reliable? Can I utilize you for the greater good? Well, sometimes, when I'm in a good mood. Employer doesn't care. That's because his excuses. So, hold all visions, no action kills the dream. We got to show up and do the work and move your feet. If we don't move our feet and show up and metaphorically row our own boat, nothing happens. So I say an aha without momentum is worthless. So if you have this moment of, I'm going to do it, I'm going to change my life today, I'm going to make a major shift in my life, I'm going to have a radical shift, I'm going to have a paradigm shift, and then you don't move your feet, you don't do anything with it, what's the point? It's an aha with no momentum. It's worthless. So pay attention while you're doing this manifestation in divine order, divine timing, as it shows up, and follow those breadcrumbs. Just listen. You know, it's everywhere. There's all of these amazing things that are pointing you in the right directions. And I'll give you a hot tip. You'll know when you follow the peace. When you feel that's the right choice, that clicks in, that is where you belong. Right there in that moment of peace. And I call it bliss. And to find your bliss, ask yourself where time doesn't exist. That is where you belong. That is your natural life force expressing itself in that moment, that perfect groove. So sit in that. So I want to just end with, let's reaffirm this absolute truth about you. And are you willing to speak out this? Because the universe needs your buy-in. It needs you to say yes to this. So we're going to open up our hands. Again, universal sign of receiving, willing to accept these truths. And the bigger you roll your hands out, the bigger you're ready to receive. And please, and don't hit anybody. Or how about straight up, whatever you want to do, okay? All right. Speak these words out. Something amazing is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. I breathe in life. I now know I'm a powerful person. I'm a powerful manifester. And this is my truth. And I mean it. And so it is. All right. Please? Yeah. Thank you.